Hey there, my name's David. I'm the head coach here at the Body Shapers, which pretty much means I help women drop fat, tone up, and take control of their body. And I'm super pumped today to bring you a really cool case study of one of our awesome members called Jane, who's made some tremendous progress lately. And I think the way she's done it and what she's learned is something that a lot of women can relate to and learn from out there, who also want to take control of their body, drop some body fat, tone up, and just really understand what it is maybe they're missing right now. So by experimenting that with Jane and sharing you with her story, I think there's tons you can take away and learn, so I'm super excited to bring this to you. So without further ado, let's say a quick hi to Jane. Hey Jane, thank you for coming in firstly. So as I said, I really want to help some women with some of the stuff you've learned through our time together. So firstly, let's just sort of backtrack. Where were you when we kind of first started? Was it 4 months ago or so? Just tell me a bit about where you were with everything and then what sort of goals we set with that.
So 4 months ago, I was a member of a big commercial gym. I was going about 3 times a week, just doing my own thing. Sometimes I'd do a pump class, sometimes a body balance class, sometimes a spin class, sometimes just do my own thing. Considered myself pretty healthy, ate pretty well, but wasn't where I wanted to be, and I didn't really feel like I was breaking a sweat a lot of the time. I was stuck just doing the same thing sort of week in, week out. I thought my diet was okay, but I just needed a change and wanted to see some more positive results. So that was when I contacted you.
Okay. So specifically, what results were you sort of after when you say you weren't that happy? What did you kind of mean by that?
I wanted to lose some weight and tone up and just feel a bit fitter and stronger.
Okay, awesome. And we set a bit of a goal weight at the start?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we set a goal weight. And I wanted to lose about 10 kilos.
Okay, and you said that you were eating fairly well and fairly healthily at that stage?
I thought I was eating fairly well, and then when you set me up with the food tracking app and with the help of Jess, the nutritionist, set some goals for me, and it was pretty evident pretty quickly that as much as I thought I was eating well, I was eating too much, definitely too much, way too many carbs than I needed, and not enough protein. So it was quite a challenge, but it was a very interesting process to learn that what I thought was healthy was probably not ideal for me.
Yeah, definitely. So that was really interesting. You're very specific there with what we did in the end change. So what Jane was referring to was we used an app called MyFitnessPal. It's very popular, and we used it to just track your food, day to day, week to week. And that app lets you look at your total calories, your protein, your carbs, your fats, which are called your macronutrients. And that's what we showed Jane, because she was eating quite well, pretty healthy, but the weight wasn't really shifting. So we showed her that app, which is a really cool way to look at your total food intake. And by setting those goals appropriately and being consistent, that's when you can really start seeing the weight come off and seeing the progress, as opposed to just saying, well, I'm eating quite well and healthy, and it can be a real shift. What was probably the hardest thing when you started using that system, or the newest thing to sort of learn instead of tracking your food and things like that?
It's actually quite user-friendly. I thought it would be a bit fiddly and a real punish, but it wasn't. I quite liked the process. Once you set up all your favourite meals and things like that, it becomes even easier. It was. I like the fact that I was learning so much, so it was worth the initial time that I put in. So anyone that thinks it's a massive hassle, I would encourage them to use it for say 2 months, see how you go, and then pretty much guarantee by the end of the 2 months you will have learned so much that you might be inspired to continue, or you may have learned enough to not continue. But for me, it was really beneficial. And I feel like it gave me a bit of flexibility to a couple of times a week, be social, go out, have a few wines, have a frozen margarita, have dessert, and then you can assess yourself on a weekly basis and get yourself back on track really more quickly and more effectively, so that over the weekly average I'll be back on track. So I feel like it was a little bit more sustainable.
Yeah, that's really
I could see how far over I'd gone and how far I had to pull myself back in.
Awesome. I think there's 2 real big key points there. Number one, she mentioned how much she learned. I think that's really important, because nutrition and what we eat is a pretty big part of our life for everyone for a long time to come. Spending a couple of months learning what's in certain foods, what's the right amount for your body, is pretty awesome. And also means, like, if Jane was to, hypothetically gain a few kilos, she would know exactly what to do to actually lose it again, because she understands the food so much better. So I think that's really important to realise, that we can learn this sort of stuff and it's not that confusing. It can be if you read every article that you see, but if you sort of just learn a couple of key things, it can be really awesome to learn. So I think that's really important. And secondly, flexibility. I mean, how many people, maybe you know some Jane, who lose weight, comes back on, lose weight, comes back on, or when they're in weight loss mode, it's super strict and it's like, I can't go out, I can't do this. It's very restrictive, it's very exclusive, versus, okay, this day I went a bit over, but I know that the other days I was pretty good. I went under, and I can see across a week that I was good. So that night I went over, A, it didn't impact my results, and B, it was guilt-free. It mentally didn't play with your head.
Yes.
Whereas it's very easy to be like, diet's gone, thrown it away. Why do I do that? Oh my God, I'm so XYZ.
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to having this flexible approach. And ultimately that's going to help with sustainability and the long-term results. So I think that was a really awesome point there that you mentioned, Jane, there with that. Talk to me about the results then that we sort of have come now since we started with all of that. Where are we at now?
So in addition to my eating, I've been really consistent with my training.
Yep.
And the results have come really quickly. So 4 months on and I've lost just over 10 kilos.
Awesome.
So feeling stronger, fitter, thinner. Yeah, really good. Really.
And all with that flexibility. We went away for a week or two as a holiday as well on that?
Yeah, from Christmas, New Year, week and a half away on holidays and still managed to keep on track and still enjoy myself.
I think that's another awesome point about the holiday season, and we still managed to get great results even while enjoying our holidays and doing different things, and not using that as almost an excuse to put everything behind, but to keep the progress coming. And yeah, that's awesome, Jane. I think it was 50 centimeters, something crazy like that, but it just shows the impact of being consistent and understanding things and doing these workouts. Obviously, we do all the right things in the gym too, but I think that's just really awesome to see that and what you've learned along the way as well. So is there any advice, Jane, you might give to someone eating pretty well, who wants to lose another 5-10 kilos, and they're eating well, they're exercising a little bit, but they just feel like they're a bit stuck?
Yeah, I'd say don't be afraid to mix it up a bit, and don't be intimidated of a place like this with all the weights and the hip thrusts and the deadlifts and the bench pressing. It's all stuff that I'd never ever done before and would have been completely intimidated by in a commercial gym. But here, it's a really nice supportive environment and you get results. So don't be afraid to mix it up a bit and try something completely different.
Yeah. Appreciate the feedback, Jane. I think hit the nail on the head. Don't be afraid to try something new. If it might be intimidating, maybe tracking your food's a bit like, oh, this is going to be such an effort, when we said it's pretty user-friendly, or doing new exercises that may be scary, or there for the guys. Don't be afraid to try it, because we can see the results that happen. So I hope that helped you guys at home. I hope you learned a lot from that, or something that you can work on yourself, something you can take away, implement today, start seeing results for yourself. Thank you again, Jane. I was David. That's all for now, and I'll see you next time.